Let's start off with the big news that everybody is talking about. Ed Sheeran has been given number 17 by Ipswich. No, that's not.
I knew it. I just knew it.
Lionel Messi, boys, is not going to be a Barcelona player anymore. He cried, and
What a,
Bartomeu cried. And
what a
not
roller
Bartomeu.
coaster it's been over the last couple of years.
Oh, fully. Not Bartomeu. I'm sorry. I mentioned Bartomeu by mistake. He's the bastard that led to this situation. In the first place.
Yeah.
Joan Laporta is the current president of the club who also is.
It just really felt like it wouldn't come here. Like, it just felt like they'll figure a way out. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It just really, I still can't believe it's happening.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's quite unreal.
You don't recognize a game of football where Messi does not play for Barcelona. Like it does not happen. Like it how can you? I can't picture him in any other team's kit. Although PSG kit does suit him a little bit with all the edits that are going around on Twitter, but it's still not the same. It's just not the same.
But in a way, can I be the sadist in the room?
Yeah,
and say I'm a little happy because I just feel like, dude, the Messi story is so perfect. You know what I mean? It's such a perfect story. This genius footballer, boyhood club is recognized, comes, everything is great, creates sensational records, marries his childhood sweetheart, stays at the same place. It's like such a beautiful story. It's so perfect. Like, I've always felt jealous that there's not one blip. Like, all the blips are like he got angry. You know, it's not like
no, but I actually feel like it's become even better now, because so far it was slightly bland. It was hunky-dory and nice.
Yeah.
Kuch conflict nahi tha.
Yeah,
only over the last year, we've been like, oh, he's definitely going to go. To then he comes out and does that interview where he's wearing half pants with goal.com. Then we're like, oh, he's definitely gone. And then it was like, oh, no chance he's leaving. And it was all, oh, it's all done. And it's just now the conflicts come in where he has to leave home.
Yeah. Although I just want to point out to Mukesh, this whole thing about it being a perfect story is not anything special. Gary Neville did the same thing. The reason why Barcelona find themselves in this situation, and if I may say so, I love the fact that Barcelona and Real Madrid are so fucked. I love the fact that this is happening to those two shithouse clubs.
Can I just say what else do you expect if you take two former Everton managers? Everton is cursed. It took two former Everton managers to go to Barcelona and Real Madrid and be like, we're going to end these powerhouses of football.
You clubs make like amazing managerial appointments to basically topple the food chain. Because like when Sir Alex Ferguson came to United, the whole idea was we want to knock Liverpool off their perch. With these two managerial appointments, I think they've ended their own dominance. So it's a very weird sort of this thing. We will topple ourselves.
We've been so successful and so powerful for so long. Let's try the Everton way. Let's give it a shot.
Let's go back to the roots.
I'm honestly happy that these two clubs are so financially fucked. I'm sad that a player as amazing as Lionel Messi has to bear the brunt of it. But he's being paid very, very well over the years at Barcelona, and he's going to be paid even better at PSG. So it's not like it's not all that bad, Lionel. You're going to be able to put food on the table. All right, let's be very, very honest there.
And you know how people say, oh, money can't buy you happiness. It can. Messi can just use money like just notes to wipe his tears, and he'll be fine.
Yes, absolutely. But the whole situation is because of the salary cap that La Liga has in place, and because of the losses that the clubs faced due to the pandemic. The salary cap has been lowered for most clubs. And the interesting bit is
due to the ridiculous amounts of money that they pay every player that's there.
Yeah, exactly. And the La Liga were looking at an investment from CVC, which would have given an extra bit of cash to all the clubs, which would have helped them out with their salary caps. But that would, effectively mean that Barcelona and Real Madrid would have to drop the ESL project altogether, which Barcelona and Real Madrid are still not willing to do. So it's amazing that this is the hill that Barcelona choose to die on. This is the fucking problem. Like, Barcelona have essentially said, no, we don't care about La Liga. We don't care about the fact that Messi, our prodigal son, the best player in the world, who is synonymous with the blue and red of Barcelona, has to leave, because we still want to play the ESL. It's just ridiculous. And frankly, I'm glad they're getting what's coming to them, because Barcelona also thought that the fact that they would announce Messi is leaving would make La Liga turn around and make some concessions and give them a little bit more leeway in terms of the salary caps, and say that, oh, we don't really want the best player in the world to leave our league. It's bad business for us as a league. But I'm glad that La Liga has said, fuck you, we don't care. You need to get in line.
I feel like La Liga didn't really have an option, because the commitment that they asked from these two clubs in exchange for that CVC money was 40 years in the La Liga minimum.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, on paper, they need to say 40 years, no ESL.
Yeah.
And if they didn't put that clause, then Barcelona and Real Madrid, like they currently are going to leave it anyways. So for them, it was a thing of, we have to take what might be the worst possible measure to sustain as a league. And I think Barcelona has done the same thing. Pep Guardiola said that it's tough decisions, and Laporte is having to make an extremely tough decision, but it's important that he makes the right one, because the guy before him didn't do so. I think Barcelona and La Liga are both in that similar boat of needing to make a humongous sacrifice for long-term sustainability.
I think they should go on.
I was actually going to say, and I think for Barcelona, like, I think generally any team, and I'm saying this as a Liverpool fan, is it any team that's
also you're a Liverpool fan? Sorry, we didn't ask you at the top of the episode.
Yeah, we missed that bit.
Yeah, I don't think I really said anything. No, but I think any team that's really built around one strong player or one personality, I feel like tends to become weak or tends to really struggle. And I really think it's the best opportunity for Barcelona to sort of build a new sort of identity, because I do feel like Barcelona in the last couple of years has become much weaker than they were, because it did become so Messi centric. Everything about Barcelona was, we have this player in the middle, and how do we build like a 10 other players around him? And I do feel like that's always a bad approach to a club. And I've seen like Liverpool struggle with that approach when it was Gerrard's era, and I feel like the club improved so much when it became a more holistic thing. And I do feel like Barcelona is going to have that journey now. Maybe there will be 2-3 years of like bad football, uneven, shaky times, but I do think the new Barcelona that will come out will, for the first time in at least in our generation, we'll see a Barcelona that's a team that's going to be a winning machine. And I still feel like it's going to be a great thing for Barcelona. Optimistic.
The only thing that I got out of that is you admitting to the fact that Steven Gerrard was shit and Liverpool became a better club after he retired. So
no, I didn't say Steven.
There we go. That's the headline news over here, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't say he was shit. I said the team was shit.
Mukesh, because of Steven Gerrard. Mukesh,
but
Liverpool fan, says.
I feel like we have seen Barcelona as a team. You know, I think pre-Messi, Barcelona was a team which had more than just one player. They had like at least three.
No, even during the Messi, and I'm saying that peak of Iniesta, Xavi, right? And you always had like a Busquets was still there. So Piqué, Puyol, and you had Alves, Mascherano. So it was still
Casillas, yeah.
And you and God, Casillas.
No, Casillas.
Are we going on listing the entire lineup now?
Yeah,
Might do it.
And you'd always have like a
Wait, what's the keeper?
Sanchez, Valdez.
Who is the keeper?
Valdez. And you always have
made some stunning appearances for Man United also in a shocking transfer to become backup keeper at United. That's how good the United goalkeeping department is. A former Barcelona #1 becomes backup here, but regardless of that. Anyway, the point is that Barcelona need to sell players in order to if they had any chance of keeping Lionel Messi in the club. So much so that their new signings, Sergio Aguero and Memphis Depay, have also not been able to be registered just yet. They, as of yesterday, were not even given squad numbers, which I think has changed now, and they have been assigned their new squad numbers. But Barcelona needed to sell players, and the problem is all of their players on such astronomical salaries that no club can afford them. And as is the case with Martin Brathwaite, they just don't want to leave. And fair play, because he has a contract. He knows that now that Messi's gone, he's the next best thing as as an attacking option. And while a deal of 15 million euros with an unnamed foreign club was signed, Martin Brathwaite at the last minute said, "Nah, I fancy some more years at the Camp Nou. I want to
Now
fight
that
my way
Messi's
into
gone,
the
I can actually be the person they build the team around.
Yeah,
And mind you guys, I don't know if you know about Martin Brathwaite, that he's the second richest person in Barcelona, because for him football is a side hobby. He has
Yes.
other investments which make him which I think he has hundreds of millions. So
You know,
for him,
there's an interesting podcast that spoke about it recently. It's called The Corner Flag. You should really listen to it
So
sometime.
it's
We
hosted
did
by
an
these,
entire bit on it.
yeah, it's hosted by these three guys. Okay, one is a Chelsea fan, one's an Everton fan, and one's a United fan. All right, there's no representation for Liverpool, but they have like some great banter on these things. So I think it was a few episodes ago, a few weeks ago. Check it out on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, there's some
Spotify.
great banter. There's some really good facts. Like, we actually said what investments they were. We didn't just be like, oh, he invested
rando.
lots of money.
Yeah.
We know that it was in real estate, and he runs
So-
a real estate business with his family. So
the
Yeah.
important point being that for him, 15 million is not even like, it's like what. So he's clearly just staying because I think he wants to end life saying, I was a Barcelona player. I think that's
Yeah.
it. That's his
Yeah.
main thing.
which is
Right.
great. Which is great. But on the other hand, Sergio Aguero is apparently not very happy because very famously, after he was told by Pep Guardiola and the bosses at Man City that his services were no longer required, a heartbroken Sergio Aguero turned to his childhood best friend and current brother-in-law Lionel Messi, and Messi said, "Why don't you come to Barcelona and we can play together? We've played together for Argentina, and now we can play together at club level as well." And Aguero was sold the dream. Aguero was very excited to play at Barcelona with Lionel Messi, and cut to, well, Lionel Messi is not at Barcelona anymore. And if reports are to be believed, Sergio Aguero was obviously very angry, and he was asking his lawyers to look at loopholes in his contract that would allow him to exit the club after 2 months of being a Barcelona player. Now, since then, Aguero has told reporters that all of these rumors were in fact rumors, and he's actually very happy to stay at Barcelona and that he's going to be there for the full season. Except now new reports have come in where he's got a calf strain and he's going to be out for 2.5 months. So he's out till November.
I have some inside news from
Oh my
there.
God.
As soon as he heard that Messi wasn't signing a new contract, Aguero ran out of his house and jumped in front of an oncoming truck. And he was like, I injured myself. I have no idea how this happened.
And that was probably being driven by Memphis Depay, who will probably go to jail now.
All the more
But
reason for
even-
Martin Brathwaite to be there at Barcelona as the final striking option. All the
I
more
think,
reason.
guys, I think this is going to end with Martin Brathwaite buying Barcelona and saving them. He can't save them with his football skills, but he will save them with his investment. And I think that's the greatest story, not the Messi
That
story,
is
but the
true.
Brathwaite
That
story.
would be
That would be
amazing.
amazing.
Did you all follow the Joan Gamper Trophy today, which was Barcelona's first game since Messi left?
Yes.
It was against Juventus, and Samuel Umtiti was getting booed when he came onto the pitch, when his name was announced as a part of the lineup. Every time he touched the ball, the stadium was booing him because he was one of the players who didn't agree to a move, and which is why Messi had to go. And he was so upset. There's some amazing photos of him just sitting there, slouching, arms crossed, really, really pissed off. It is so meme worthy. It's amazing.
You know what would be great? If Samuel Umtiti sees that reaction from the Barcelona fans and says, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm leaving. I want to transfer." And everybody's like, "But now what's the point, you idiot?"
Yeah, he should do it the day Messi signs. He's like, I am now happy to leave the club.
That would be so amazing.